What's up, Starcraft fans? Today we're doing the tier list for Hostile Takeover on Rifts to Core Hall. Brian, let's hear the mutation.
Rifts to Core Hall is the map where we have to destroy 10 void shards before timer runs out. Each set of void shards we destroy adds time and reveals the next set. Missiles fly in from the edge of the map to your buildings. If you don't shoot them, they deal damage. Amon has a laser drill and steals your buildings if he destroys them.
Hit scan means that when your unit attacks, it goes directly at its target. There is no missile that can be intercepted by a point defense drone, which would be a lot in this map from the missiles. So hit scan is good because you don't get intercepted by point defense drones. Just a point for later. Okay, cool. So we have Tutu and Evelyn in the call with us today. How are you guys? Alright, first try. So, Tutu, how do we rank the commanders this week?
So the main mutator will be Missile Command, and the laser will be has good synergy with the other two mutators. So if you lose buildings to Missile Command, the laser will start. Amon will take your building, and then the laser will start shooting you.
Yes.
So it's not. It's like a B+1, but it's really just annoying. So if you can find a way to deal with these mutators, then you can get a higher rating rank.
Beautiful. How about you, Evelyn?
Yeah, as Tutu said, these mutators are annoying, but none of them are going to outright kill you. So pretty much just coming out with it is no commander is going to be like D or E or F. It's pretty straightforward in terms of mutation. A lot of some commanders will be able to play just normally. So, and of course, we got the usuals for this particular map that will dominate it. And
Wonder who those could be.
Them from that. Yeah.
Let's begin. Abathur, where do we have him?
So Abathur, he kind of struggles in the early game while trying to get a Brutalist because of the drill. So you pretty much can't get a drill. You can't get a Brutalist for a bit without like knowing how to lure. So that means you probably need to wait until like the 5-minute wave before you can really do anything. In the late game, you will have either Swarm Host to help push or Guardian Leviathan. That's both, they're okay. And your Brutalists will be anti-nuke, but you have to pay attention a lot. So I think, and like if you have a lot of minerals, you can mass evolution chambers or spores, but like they're not really the best against missiles. So yeah, I put Abathur in B.
B. How about you, Evelyn?
Yeah, I have Abathur from A to B. Pretty much his means to deal with Missile Command are either the symbiotes from Ultimate Evolutions, or if you are really good with your bios, you can get nukes with Ravagers. I mean, if you have a lot of Ravagers, you don't have to be that good, but yeah, the less bios you have to waste at potentially with him or miss him. His early luring is going to be tricky just because of laser drill. Otherwise, yeah, it's mostly once he gets going, it's going to be mostly straightforward play. B, I think, is what we're gonna be at.
Yeah, both of you are okay with B. Let's put Abathur in B. Prestige-wise, anything except the... Well, actually 0 or 2? Like the usual 0 or 2?
0, 2.
Alright, so no Prestige or Tuddling Horror. That's fair. Let's move on. Alarak, where do we have him?
Alarak, for the most part, laser drill is annoying.
Hey, Apple! Hey, Apple! Hey, Apple!
But the mothership can tank it, and the main thing is just kill things as quick as possible, so that way the laser drill lets off of its lock, and then so you're not incurring ridiculous amounts of damage over time. His destroyers, they're hit scan, so they do a good job of taking out a lot of the missiles. The only thing is if your group of destroyers are, or your armies in the front, and then nuke starts coming toward the back, you the most you can do is pop either teleport back to your base, deal with the nuke. If that's on cooldown, then pop total an photon overcharge, and maybe it might take it out, maybe it might not. But yeah, just get the mission done as sooner than later, and then you have to deal with less missiles. I have them from A to B.
Can the point defense drones block your photon overcharge?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So it won't work.
Yep.
If you overcharge, it won't work because the nuke missile comes with 4 of them. That's a lot.
5.
5 of them.
Y-
That's a lot.
Yeah, you're gonna have to hope that something whittled down the point defense drones on its way there a little bit, and then your overcharge takes care of the rest. But
You need an
as I said,
ascendant.
it's a very iffy proposition.
You need an ascendant to mind blast the nuke missile or something. Anyway, how about you, Tutu?
So there's a very strange
Something strange in your neighborhood.
interaction with this mutator combo where when an air unit attacks a missile command missile, Amon gets vision of that unit and then the laser hits you for a second. So with Alarak's destroyers killing missiles, they're gonna keep getting poked by the laser, and the more they attack, the more they're gonna get poked. So of course you're gonna have different destroyers hitting stuff, but over time you're gonna lose more destroyers than with regular missile command. And if you didn't know this might your destroyers might die to splitters as well. So you might not even notice that you're short on
Destroyers.
destroyers at home. And if you're using destroyers as part of your main army to push from the side for the 3rd and 4th bases instead of the front, that's gonna be another thing. You might not have enough charges of destroyers to do this. So yeah, it's not gonna be very. It's not. It's like a very annoying thing for Alarak to deal with. I put him in B.
B. Okay, well, despite how different it sounded, both of you ended up agreeing with B anyway. So that's where Alarak lands, right in B. Prestige-wise, you definitely want the 3rd one, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, let's move on. Arcturus, where do we have him?
He doesn't care about missile command because he has bunkers, and then he also just completely destroys this map from his usual spot. So S.
Single S.
Yes.
Okay. How about you, Eviling?
For me, it's double S.
Double
No
S.
range, just double S.
Okay. So, yeah, basically just put your Earth Splitters in that corner, and then you can put it there, Zeus. You know what it looks like. What do you think, Tutu? Double S or single S? And why?
I don't think he's double just because you still have to make a missile command defense. It's not like regular Bruto where you don't. And some people don't make because you also have to surround your ESOs with troopers. You have to make enough troopers. Of course, you can just unload and shoot them, but if you're not paying attention, then your ESOs can get nuked if you forget to make a anti-missile defense around them.
Wait,
So, yeah.
you take longer than 15 minutes to clear this mission?
I don't know. You might. Who
Interesting.
knows?
So, Eviling, will you mount a defense for double S? Because if it's not unanimous, it's not double S.
Not unanimous, not double S. That's fine.
All right. Only
S is still damn good.
only single S for Arcturus. That's fine. Single S is fine. S is fine. Let's move on. Artanis, where do we have him?
Artanis, he struggles against missile command. Dragoons, all non-hit scan. his best options for dealing with nukes coming in are either orbital strikes, and if you're P3, I don't know if you want to be dropping orbital strikes for that. High Templars.
Yikes.
Yeah, you just gotta go in that tech direction. It's not hard to do it. Just make sure to
Feedback! The point defense drones! That won't even work because they're
you could
buildings.
do that.
They're buildings. It won't even work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Just make sure to hit those storms and don't miss.
Don't miss.
Yeah. For me, he's the worst one of the bunch. I have him from B to C.
B to C. Interesting. You see,
He's
a lot
still
of
not.
commanders are
He's
B
not
to C, but
horrid.
he's the worst. Okay, how about you, Tutu?
So Artanis, he's not great. I guess his Guardian Shell can save you from one nuke, but that's not like a long-term solution. You can storm the PDDs or you like Archons or something, but you don't really have anything for offense because you will need like probably Phoenixes, or you use P2 and then you like teleport and go all in on the last 7
Yikes.
if you want. You will need to plan that extremely well, but it's doable. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you can beat this quickly, he's okay. And if you can't beat this quickly, the longer it goes, the worse he gets. I put him in C.
Put him in C. Okay, so both of you said B to C. So which one is it? B or C?
C. I think
C.
Tutu was just
I
said,
said C.
said C.
Oh, you said C.
Yeah.
Okay, so there it is. Artanis in C tier. That's probably as bad as it gets, right? Who could be worse than that?
Yep.
Let's find out. Dehaka, where do we have him?
So Dehaka, for him, because of Eminent Domain plus Laser, the missile command actually hurts a lot more because when you lose a building, you have to have stuff at home to stop the laser from killing a lot of your other stuff. And early on, he doesn't really have much. And he usually bleeds like buildings early on. If you're dueling, it's less likely, but it still can happen. And later on, you get creeper hosts, but you'll also have to like leave a lot of creeper hosts at home to defend against missiles. So your attack squad will be smaller and still gonna be okay. You might want to turn off the autocast so that they don't go after random missiles. If you survive the early game, he's fine, but yeah. And after 15 minutes, you still have to pay attention to the nukes. You have good greater primal worms against them, but you still have to like pay attention.
Yes.
I put Dehaka. Oh yeah, and the laser makes it a little bit harder to get levels early on. A little bit harder. I put him in C.
C, wow. How about you, Eviling?
Yeah, I agree with all the points Tutu made about him. It's his propensity of dealing with missile command is a little rough. And managing the creeper host, if it wasn't for these mutators, he would play almost like Arcturus, get into that corner and then just bombard everything from that point on. But because of just how creeper hosts kind of go after missiles, yeah, that kind of makes it a little funny, a little more things to manage. So I have him from B to C.
Okay, B to C. So both of you are okay with C. Let's put Dehaka in C. Wow. Normally he's like double S for this one, but I guess Missile Command really gives him fits. There are a few commanders there are a few mutators that give Dehaka this much of a fit, but this is one of them. Phoenix. Where do we have him?
Phoenix, for the most part, he's going to play normally. Eminent Domain. The nice thing is shields are going to help you survive most of the early missile stuff, and then just try to plow through, get the mission done as quick as possible. And Phoenix has a lot of power to do that, to push. Once he gets out into the field, you got the only thing that really to contend with is laser drill, and that that itself is like, oh, I lost the shell. Oh, now I have a more angry zealot.
Angrier
So
Zalahut.
that kind of works in your favor. Yeah, I have him from A to B.
A to B. How about you, Tutu?
So Phoenix's best way to deal with missile command is like having carrier shells
Yeah.
attack the missiles. But because they're air units, they're gonna get shot by the laser. So you will start bleeding carriers the way that
Ouch.
Alarak will bleed destroyers. So instead, then you gotta make adepts or cannons suck.
So you just suck.
So you need like adepts, but those kind of suck too. So your best bet is actually trying to like speed run, which he can do, but you need to. It's kind of hard because you need to know exactly how to do it, and it's not easy. There's like a very specific path you take to get to the third area, the back of the third area. And without knowing that, it's really like going through the front takes a long time.
So it's a specific strategy. Or
Yeah,
specific.
for the nukes, you can summon the Dragoon suit and just like use the anti-air attack and
Use
then
what?
switch
Ooh,
suits to
ability.
regain the energy. That's like the best way, and hopefully you don't bleed to death from the regular missiles. I put Phoenix in B.
Wow, despite all that, he's still B. Yeah?
I'd like to add upon that another way to deal with nukes to get past the PDDs. Conservators are hit scan.
Yes.
So
They are.
I mean, if you're floating gas, just make a few of them, and then target the nuke.
Yes, that's absolutely right.
If Phoenix, yeah. So yeah, B sounds about right.
All right. So both of you are okay with B. Let's put Phoenix in B. What prestige do you want here? Still second one?
Yes.
Okay. Let's move on.
You
Han.
don't want the first one.
You don't want the first one. Han and Horner, where do we have them?
So it's Eminent Domain, Han, and Horner again. However, just because you don't die doesn't mean you will win.
Yes.
So you can put like a galleon at like the front to stop all the waves, and then you can put a galleon and just like poke the shard to death.
Stop poking me.
But the missile command missiles can't kill you because you're invincible because of
Yeah.
Eminent Domain. Yeah. So, and I think by hovering over a laser, you're just invincible, right?
Yeah.
So,
So you
the laser will hit you, but you won't die.
You can just
So you're
cancel
gonna
out the
draw
laser. Yeah, just cancel the laser.
Yeah.
Be the permanent
Yep.
decoy. That's pretty smart. Until the galleon ends up destroying everything in its vision range, which will make the laser
Well.
lose vision. It's just kind of funny. Anyway,
So it's really just the galleon itself is really slow, so you'll need other stuff. And in the meantime, like you will still need reapers and stuff against the missiles, because if you lose your economy, you might not kill the shards in time. So you'll still need other stuff. And like the usual strike fighter versus PDD problems where you're trying to take out stuff in their base and they get canceled by a random PDD, that stuff
Yes.
still occurs.
yes.
So yeah, I put Han Horner in A.
A. Wow. How about you, Eviling?
I have Hound and Horror from S to A. Yeah, invincible galleons. Make your first galleon, fly it all the way to the laser drill. Take that out of the equation. It'll make your life and your allies' life easier.
That's gonna be so
in
funny.
terms of dealing with all the in terms of dealing with the missiles, my go-to approach for that is just spam a bunch of missile turrets and widow mines. So widow mines, yeah, they don't really care about PDDs, and if when it comes down to the nukes, I've mentioned this before. I still stand by it. It's demil your Vikings. So they're wild missiles. You take it off autocast when a missile comes by. Hit it with one salvo of wild, and that will pretty much knock it out. The PDDs won't do anything about it.
Very nice.
So, but yeah, not unanimous. So not S.
All right, so only A. Prestige-wise, which one do you want here?
Hey,
Not two.
Not 2. Why not? Point defense
Because
drones?
you don't
More
have enough
galleons.
galleons.
That makes sense.
You
Alright,
need galleons. You want galleons to produce units at home too.
to shoot down the missiles? How about just repairing them?
You can't stop the nukes with, oh, unless you're going for the Viking route.
Yeah.
I guess I find the Vikings to be unreliable because if you're trying to chase, if you're too slow and you try to chase, it's like you can't catch up to it, and then you will lose.
Fair. That's fair. Alright,
Mm.
so anything except the second one. So now I gotta do
I
it.
mean, if you want, you can do it, but
I gotta do it with the second one, the solo queue. Already have a hilarious strategy planned. I don't know if it'll work, but it's gonna be hilarious. Okay, Hot and Horner A tier.
Looking forward to seeing it.
Let's move on. Karax, where do we have him?
Karax, space laser is good for taking out nukes. Eminent Domain. If you're careless about his structures, then yeah, that could be a problem. But yeah, just make sure to build shield batteries, and you shouldn't be running into problems about your structures being converted over. Laser drill. If you're going on the offense with like sentinels or mirages, laser. I mean, just yeah, they'll be able to tank it not without much issues, and then maintain the vision so you can bombard stuff with space lasers. I have them from A to B. In my opinion, you can do 2 or 3.
2 or
Prestige 2 or 3.
3? Okay, how about you, Tutu?
yeah, you can use 2 or 3. If you use 2, then you defend against nukes with like 2 carriers in the natural, 3 in the main, or something like that. And then the rest of your army will just be on the offense. If you use 3, then you just do the monolith stuff and then mass mirages and then attack the objectives.
Yeah.
Because Karax has repair beam, so that's one. He can help his allies that are getting poked by the laser or the missiles, and then the carriers hitting enemy missiles, you'll get poked by the laser, but you'll you'll just repair it anyway, so you're not going to lose anything to the laser. And his offense is really strong because mirages they phase, right? So the laser
Yes.
pokes one and then it has to retarget and then it repeats. And if the laser hits an interceptor, it also has to retarget.
Yes.
So basically, Karax doesn't really care, and he can solar lance attack waves. So those are they disappear. I put Karax in S.
Ooh, S. You said S, Eviling, or A to B?
I said A to B, but I'm totally down for S.
Okay, that makes it easier for me then. Karax for S. So, prestige-wise, you want the third one? Or second one's also fine?
Second or third.
Second or third. Okay, that's fine. Kerrigan, where do we have him?
Kerrigan, well, so Kerrigan's not exactly good against missile command unless you're just like really on top of things. You can dump a lot of Omega Worms everywhere, but you have to also pay attention to where the nukes are going. And sometimes, like if you have queens at home, if you don't heal each other periodically, they might get killed by splitters. Also, this is Rifts the Core Hall, which means that the first wave is early, plus that it comes with laser drill.
Yes.
So your usual like spine crawler stuff, if you use spine crawlers, they might die and Amon takes them. So
Yes.
if Amon takes them, then you're really screwed. So yeah. Later on, it's pretty much one woman army, and you can like put your Ultralisk and Hydralisk in the Omega, pop out when it's necessary or something. But if you pop out and you don't kill a missile in time, then your whole army's gonna get nuked. I put the fact that Kerrigan's extremely busy, doesn't have an auto missile killer, and the first wave. All of those things make it hard for her, so I put her in B.
B. How about you, Eviling?
Also have Kerrigan from B to C just because of her ability of dealing with missile command, and if you don't deal with missile command properly, then Eminent Domain is going to start kicking in. So yeah, you don't want to be losing your buildings to that, especially production structures or tech structures. One thing so you can spam Omega Worms, but I mean, Tutu has vouched for this before. One good way for her to deal with missile command is playing P1. So P1 creep makes supercharges your Hydralisk, and they pretty much chew through PDDs like no tomorrow. The main thing is just having them spread about so that it's covering your base. And then the other kind of cute thing is Eminent Domain. If the enemy, if Amon takes your creep tumor that you're trying to spread around, fine, let him take it. He's gonna spread it for you.
Yeah,
He's
it's
gonna
still
make more
creep.
creep, and you don't have to spread it for yourself.
But
Yeah.
once he spreads it toward your
Uh,
base, that will give vision for the laser drill.
Yes, that was the caveat to that. So, if you're gonna let him spread creep, let him take the creep tumors way up far away from your base, and then if they get near your base, start killing them off.
Wait. If
So
Amon takes a creep tumor, he spreads them? Or is it just the
yes,
one that was
yes.
at the location where he took it?
Usually, when he takes
Oh,
control of
he
factories, he produces out of them. So I can't imagine why he wouldn't spread with the creep tumor stolen. Does he not do that?
I don't know.
He does. He does. He
I don't
does. I
have
promise you, he does. And
I don't have experience with it since I don't play. I don't spread creep against Eminent Domain, or especially in mutations. So I don't.
I on random queue, I try to when I do play P1, I make it a point to give Amon some creep tumors so I don't have to spread so many myself.
Interesting. So still B.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Prestige
still
wise, what do you want?
I think Omega Worms, having Omega Worms is really good because you want to use the Omega Worm trick where you pop a worm, let the laser drill hit the worm, and then like you go in and come out after the worm stops hitting you. With P1, you can't do that.
Yeah, just so not the first prestige. Anyone but the first prestige. See, this is why I keep saying that no matter how much you buff the first prestige or Kerrigan, if it doesn't have Omega Worms, it's still bad. That's why you still don't use it. B tier for Kerrigan. Nova, where do we have him?
I mean, for the most part, displays normally. She doesn't rely too much on buildings. The main thing is just have adequate enough SCVs around to repair. Otherwise, it's gonna play pretty normally, other than laser drill, and you just make your liberators. Or if you're playing P3, go in and destroy the objectives and win the game. I have her for A to B.
A to B. How about you, Tutu?
So P3, clear the things. I use Banshees instead of Liberators because Banshees don't get hit by the laser. While you're trying to deal with the objective. But everything's the same. And for nukes, you can use a Raven Seeker missile and just like Seeker missile the nuke, and the rest of the missiles you just out repair them. I put Nova in A.
A. Okay, both of you have Nova in A. Let's put them in A. First or third prestige works fine, right? Or do you prefer the third prestige?
Easier.
Third is easier. Okay, it's kind of funny how the point defense drones can intercept fast-moving missiles, but they don't intercept point defense drones, or rather, seeker missiles. What's up with that? They don't intercept seeker missiles. They're like the slowest, easiest to intercept missile ever, and they don't intercept it. Crazy. Anyway, maybe it's not fast enough. Raynor, where do we have him?
Raynor, he has good anti-missile command defense, and he can repair. So the mutators, the laser drill, at least like the Eminent Domain and the missile command won't be a problem. The hardest part is going out on offense, but your Banshees, if you're using them, just like Novas, are invisible. So you can use them to take out the objective after your Hyperion clears all the detectors there. And you just repeat So yeah, it's slow, but it's pretty solid. I put him in A.
Okay, Raynor in A. How about you, Eviling?
Yeah, I have Raynor in A to B. He shines against missile command, and pretty much it. This is other than the laser drill, he's playing a standard Raynor game, so nothing too major for him. If he's playing with bio or something, then if the laser drill kills a marine, oh well, drop another one.
Next, send in another Gorgon, or I mean, Marine. Okay, Raider goes in
Yeah.
A. Prestige wise, you want the third one? Or any?
Yes, third one.
Third one. It's kind of funny how Raynor and Hot and Horner are both A tier and Dehaka is C tier. You can really tell that Eminent Domain is a thing, or not rather, Missile Command is a thing.
Missile command.
Okay, that's fine. Let's move on. Stetboy, where do we have him?
Stat boy. So if you're not playing P1, then Eminent Domain does become a huge nuisance, especially with paired with Laser Drill and um, Missile Command. It's you're gonna be losing your Statellite spread, and thus it can hinder P2 quite a bit because Super Duper Gary is gonna be caught out without any stat zones. He's gonna have to rely on the Gary zone, and that's only available so much. So it's doable. Whether or not saying that you should be going with P1 on this in order to not be losing stat zones is a hard call, but otherwise it's mostly annoying. I would say he's just because of how the stat zone interaction with eminent domain is, I'd say he's B to C.
B to C. How about you, Tutu?
On top of that, he has a similar problem to Kerrigan, the
Where
first wave. So yeah, and if you're trying to spread Stellalites early, they're gonna get shot by the laser by the enemies who are like walking towards your base, and you'll probably lose half of them. Stetmann also, he's Terran, so at least he can repair, but he doesn't have a auto nuke killer because he doesn't have hit scan. So his nuke defense is either like corruptors or E-Gorb, which you don't want to waste on the nukes, or you use the Brood Lord Yamato on the just like how Nova uses Seeker missiles on the nuke itself. So you have a few Brood Lords at each base, and you just Seeker missile or you Yamato the nukes that come, and everything else you just out repair. But that requires attention. So yeah, it's a lot of extra. Well, it's a lot of micro and paying attention and not losing Stellalites to the laser drill. So yeah, I put Stetmann in B.
B. Both of you are okay with B. Let's put Stetboy in B. Wow, look at that. Hara and Horner, Raynor in A, Stetboy in B. Look at that. Dehaka in C. Huh. That's so funny how it happens. Prestige wise, you still want the second one, right?
Still want the second one.
Still want the second one. Let's move on. Stukov, where do we have him?
Stukov, you play P3 and then you send your infested troop marines in a direction and they'll kill all the missiles and the objective. They don't care about the laser.
You get up from your seat.
Oh yeah.
You have a drink. You come back 20 minutes later to the victory screen.
Yeah, I do think you should have a barracks at each base to like make emergency marines in case a nuke comes from a direction that's not the direction that your bunkers are going, just in case. I put Stukov in S.
How about you, Eviling?
Yeah, it's so brainless and it's just straight up S. I don't know if double S, but either way, he's gonna just build your bunkers and the waves of infested are gonna get it done. It's pretty much playing normal P3 Stukov.
Okay, so Stukov S tier. No one said double S. Wait, are you saying double S?
I don't think so.
I'm not saying double S.
Okay. Prestige wise, want the third one. Let's move on. Swann. Where do we have him?
Swann, he has his spinning dizzies allow him to deal with missile command. And then if the missiles get past the spinning dizzies, then you could force target your laser drill onto the nuke, and the PDDs are not going to interfere with that. So he's pretty good with that. Otherwise, I would suggest doing P2 on this, and then so that way you have your concentrated beam clear out the way and post cannon to clear heavily concentrated areas, send in your wraiths, and just play, for the most part, play normal.
Okay.
A to B.
A to B. How about you, Tutu?
So I recently figured out a very cool thing you can do on this mutation, which is you build your first supply depot near the laser, you let Amon take it, he sees your building, he shoots your building, and you repair it forever. And now the laser is gone. And Swann repairs for free. So, yeah. So that means you can take out the laser drill mutator right from like before 3 minutes, basically. You just need to sacrifice like 3 SCVs to repair your whatever building it's shooting, and you cannot kill the supply depot that you have given to Amon. But that's about it. His missile command defense is good, so you just make. I unfortunately underestimated how many turrets you need. You probably need more than you think, but you don't need like a whole lot. You probably need like.
So
I don't know how to quantify, but
you need more than you think.
at least 3 to 4 in an area
Okay.
together.
Let's finish this the way we started.
They have to shoot together, not spread out 1-1-1. You still have to clear areas with your top bars, so you still have to go out. So yeah, that is a little bit annoying. So I put Swann in A.
Swann and A. How about you, Eveling?
Had him from A to B. So yeah, we're converging on A.
Okay.
I have a question. So if there are no other valid targets for your laser drill, and then the only thing that's showing is that building that Amon took,
You put it out of the laser range. You put it very close to the laser. I tried this. I remember.
Okay.
You put
Got
it
it.
so
Got
close.
it.
Oh, but you don't want to put it in front because your concentrated beam will kill it. So you want to put it in the back.
Okay.
It's like one
Got
space
it.
away.
That's
So the laser has like
interesting.
5 range or something. Minimum 5 or something like that.
That's so insanely cheesy.
Okay.
You should
Oh
definitely
my
try.
God. I should definitely try it at some point.
Funny.
Okay. So wait, I have another question. So if a nuke is targeting one of your buildings that can float and you fly it away, can the nuke missile chase down your flying
Yes.
buildings? That's very
Yes.
sad.
If you uproot a spore crawler, it will chase you.
That's kind of funny.
You can actually patrol in a circle, and the nuke will never hit you.
The
Never
spore.
follow you.
This
This works
taking out
better.
for a spore. That's funny.
This works with Stetmann's spores because they don't care about creep.
I need to try that at
Although
some point.
future missiles will break it though.
That's true. Maybe we can have like a few drones repairing it. I want to try it at some point.
Chasing and repairing.
Yes. Okay. Both of you said Swann A. Let's put Swann in A. Prestige wise, second one.
Yeah.
All right.
0, 1, or 2 doesn't matter
0, 1, or 2. Just not the third one. Why
Yes.
not the third one?
because your call downs.
All right. Let's move on. Tychus,
If
where do
you
we
get
have
that
him?
going, I think you should make a video out of it.
I want to. Tychus, where do we have him?
Tychus. So this one you can probably still use Lone Wolf, but you don't. You probably want like a P0 instead, so you can just heal. And then like you can still continue attacking while you micro the outlaw that's being hit by the laser away, so that a different outlaw gets hit.
Yes.
And you just have to repeat that a while. You can also like use throw serious turrets so they get hit, and then you just like walk away from the serious turrets.
When they get stolen.
It's and then you can use your auto turrets to kill splitter missiles and nukes and stuff, but you need like at least 4 to 5 in a line. Otherwise,
In a
you won't.
line.
The splitters will like destroy the SCVs or the missiles themselves because they don't have much HP. You still need to keep them repaired.
Yikes.
I put Tychus in A.
Okay, solid. How about you, Eveling?
Yeah, I have Tychus from A to B. For the most part, he's going to play normally, unless you have. I mean, most likely you can play with Sirius, but if you can do without him, then you don't have to worry about turrets turning against you.
Okay. Both of you said A. Let's put him in A. Prestige wise, you still want the second one, or no prestige works fine?
No prestige.
No prestige. Okay. Let's move on. Vorazun. Where do we have him?
Vorazun, she actually does have good means of hit scan through her Corsairs and Void Rays. So just make a whole bunch of those and time stop and nuke the slivers as needed. Just be full if things start uh, going down on, like, when you start taking damage buildings, and if they turn sides, especially the one that you want to watch out for turning sides is your dark pylon.
Yeah.
So if attack wave is there and your dark pylon gets turned, it's like, oh, where did the attack wave go? Oh, I'm still dying. So just be mindful of that. Otherwise, as long as you got Corsairs spread around, that should handle most of the missiles, and it's gonna pad your kill count nicely. I have her from A to B.
A to B. How about you, Tutu?
So she uses air units, but unlike Alarak and other commanders with air units, Phoenix, that's right. Hers are invisible, so they don't. The laser can't see them. Even so, yeah, the laser can't see them, so they can just defend without worry. And then you time stop to kill the
shards.
slivers, and then you go back, or shards, and then you go back home. It's pretty straightforward. You just need to be in position, and you press a button, and they all die. And for the attack waves, you can just black hole them and then kill them. And
Okay.
the attack waves are not very frequent, so you have like 3 minutes, one black hole, and that's pretty much all you need. Vorazun A.
Vorazun A. Okay, both of you are okay with A. Let's put Vorazun in A. Prestige wise, she has one prestige, the third one. Let's move on. Zagara. Where do we have him?
So she can clear a lot of stuff very quickly. For this one, P3 you can like deep tunnel, get to like hard to reach places, but then you might be getting shot by the laser though. So yeah, the longer, like Artanis, the longer the game goes on, the harder it is. So if you don't win by 15 minutes, you might start dying because you need bio launchers or hold position scourge, which is kind of hard for. It's very counterintuitive. Or like a lot of people don't manually hold position on scourge just to control them to get nukes. So yeah, if you can clear quickly with Zagara, she's like B, but if you can't, then she's like C.
Okay. How about you, Eveling?
Yep, because of the Scourge's tendency to go after any type of missile, you're gonna be wasting Scourges. So all you P1 enjoyers have fun with that. Yeah, try to clear as quick as possible. I'd say for the most part, you can go with P3. I would also suggest P2 because you're
That's what I
making
did.
corruptors, and then
They're
yeah,
really strong.
so you can mass corruptors and just have them snipe the shards and get the mission done. But yeah, I'd say for her, I have her for A to B.
A to B. Okay, both of you said B. Let's put Zagara in B. Prestige wise, I guess it depends on your strategy. You can go. You guys still recommend third prestige? I like the second one here. So you can just use
I
corruptors
say
and
2 or
stuff.
3.
Okay.
I say two.
Two?
I say anything except 0.
Anything except 0. Okay, just use A prestige. and then just use whatever his strengths are. Let's move on. Zeratul, where do we have him?
So unfortunately, this week, cannon's not so good. But if he doesn't have cannons, he still has some good units. So for the most part, I would say go with army based Zeratul and focus on getting the mission done, so that less chances of having to deal with the barrage of nukes and laser drill. I mean, Zeratul is tanky enough to take laser drill shots, and the thing is, he's cloaked, so most likely he's gonna lose aggro of the laser drill in a matter of time. So army Zeratul, get the mission done, and should be pretty standard affair for that type of play. A to B.
A to B. How about you, Tutu?
This one I recommend P3, and you put all your resources in defending at home, and you just send out the occasional legion or something so that they can tank the laser while you take out all the detectors, and then you just spin and kill the shards. Your shield guards and cannons and monoliths will take care of all the missiles, nukes, and everything. And yeah, so he's one of the few commanders I've done so far at level 1. So yeah, I put him in S.
S. Eviling, what do you think?
Not opposed to putting him in S.
All right.
Not opposed to it at all.
All right. Zeratul in S tier. Do we have a double S? All right.
Double S means like it's like regular Bruto, but even Manx has to like do a little bit of.
Yeah. The closest one I can think of is
Anti-missile
Stukov, but he still has to kind of think about missiles. Kind of. Not really, but kind of. So, who's top of S?
Manx.
All right. Second in S.
Second is Stukov.
Third.
Third, I'll say Karax.
I think so too. Karax repairs allied buildings,
Yeah.
which is something Zeratul doesn't do.
Yeah, he's much more valuable than a Zeratul ally.
He has Unity Barrier, so even if a nuke does connect, oops, I'm invincible.
Yeah.
Who's top of A?
Han Horner.
Ooh,
Invincible Galleons.
Look at you, Hot and Horner. Second in A.
Second, Swann.
Swann? Okay.
He does fire suppression. Well, that's only his own stuff, huh? But
Yes, it's only, but he can
he can take out the laser. So
yes, and he can
I
repair
thought-
for free. His SCVs
Yes.
have free repair.
before
Yeah.
I used to only do that against Zerg, where you like you make a factory near a creep tumor so that you just bait the laser drill to shoot the thing, and your laser can't shoot the creep tumor. But then with Eminent Domain, it doesn't matter what race the enemy is. You can do it. You can do it even if it's against Protoss.
Can you repeat the strategy? You make a depot
You
beside
make a depot behind, like next, well,
to
probably
your
like
own
one
laser
space
drill.
behind the
Your own laser drill.
laser.
Your
You-
own, not
you
Amon's
attack
laser
it.
drill, right?
Your own laser drill.
Yeah.
You attack it with your SCVs until it burns down naturally. Amon will take it over, and then Amon's laser will start shooting a building of yours, and then you mass repair that building for the rest of the game.
Very cool. Oh my Donnie.
And you
Okay.
do not build any attackers near the supply depot that Amon took. Like, don't put any blaster buildings nearby because they'll kill
They'll destroy it.
it. Oh,
Okay.
there's one thing you should know if you're trying this, because for some reason the laser drill changes targets when you get near the laser's vision. So when you go to the fourth base, they'll start shooting your stuff, and then when you stop, it'll start shooting your buildings again, which is very weird.
That's
But-
weird. Oh well.
Yeah, just a heads up. It will shoot your building, and you can repair it until you get to the last base when you have enough raids.
That's funky. Oh well. So who's next in A after Swann?
Raynor.
And then
Nova.
yeah, Nova. Basically the guys who can
Nova,
repair. A
Vorazun
tiers A tier is basically the repair guys. Then
Vorazun,
Tychus.
Tychus.
Except for Vorazun.
Vorazun before Tychus?
Tychus can repair.
Because Tychus, he can repair, but like when he's attacking, it's really annoying to
That's
deal with
true.
stuff. Vorazun is like, I'm attacking when you can't do anything.
That's true. Alright, who's top of B? Stetboy, right? Because he can repair? Or Abathur?
Abathur kinda can repair with mending.
I still kind of like Stetboy.
Abathur is the most reliable against nukes.
So he's top of B.
Yeah.
Who's second B?
Yes.
Yeah.
Stetboy? Zagara?
Stetmann. Wait, Stetmann has the 2-minute wave problem.
Yes.
Phoenix,
Yeah, I would say
Alarak, do
Alarak.
not.
Phoenix Alarak do
Alarak.
not.
Yeah.
So Alarak second in B. Next.
Yeah.
Phoenix also doesn't have the
Next.
2-minute wave problem.
He can also speedrun this
Phoenix is
kind of.
Stetmann.
So
Yeah.
Phoenix third.
Yeah.
Then
And
Stetmann, Kerrigan,
Zagara.
Zagara.
okay.
Zagara doesn't have the 2-minute problem, but she has the 15-minute problem.
Okay.
I would put Zagara last.
Okay. Who's top
Okay.
of C?
Dehaka.
Dehaka. Yeah, that makes sense. Artanis is the bottom.
Yeah.
Poor Artie.
Yeah.
I'm
Bad.
sure there are gonna be a couple of Artanis apologists. There always are. Artanis apologists say, "Oh, it's very simple. You
They
just
don't
make figures,
understand the
you just make
ranking.
phoenixes. You just use shield overcharge. Then you'll be invincible and stuff. You'll have garden shell. Amazing garden shell. Garden shell.
You just make dragoons and micro them.
Just play
The
good."
problem is they view this as relative. So since it's relative to the others, worse, they think it's wrong, but it's just relative to the mutation,
Yeah.
not the
And
others. It's not like because they're C, they're just a
in
lot worse
general.
than everyone.
C isn't even bad. Like C is fine. Man,
Yeah.
equal contribution.
Yeah.
It's not bad. We're saying almost anyone can carry pretty hard. But there are a couple guys who like go that equal contribution. Anyway,
Struggle a
guys.
little bit more.
Yeah, I guess. Guys, watch Tutu's videos. I will link them down below. We'll see you guys next time.